workout today we're going to do and eat and train with me. I am going to the gym right now. I'm wearing brand new Alphalete. This is my first time putting it on my body. This is launching, I think, I don't even remember. I'll put it on the screen when all this is launching. First of all, how stunning is this color? I'm obsessed with it. I love it so much. They're releasing new pump shorts and new colors, which the pump shorts like quickly have truly become hands down my favorite Alphalete bottom now, 100%. I love that the waistband doesn't come up as high as the Amplify, so they just like sit better on me because I have a shorter torso, so they sit like perfectly in my waist. Just like the accentuation on your glutes is like next level. This bra is brand new and I'm not sure how I feel about it. Like, I think it's so cute. I just struggle with halter neck stuff on me just because my back is so wide and it just really accentuates that on me, and I personally don't love that like part of my body. So I just feel like it really draws a lot of attention to it, and I can't decide if I'm wearing a small, and I just feel like I could maybe do a medium because I just feel like, I don't know. I just feel like it's like tight on me, but also I didn't want to go up to my bigger size of a medium because I didn't want, like, since it's a halter, I didn't want it to feel like there was no support. I was nervous the medium was gonna be like too big, but I also feel like I could just maybe use some more. I feel like my chest is spilling out. I don't know, I'm not sure. So I'm gonna wear this to work out in and kind of see what I'm working with, because sometimes when I try something brand new, I don't like it, but then it will grow on me and I just have to get more like comfortable wearing it. Sorry, that's the dishwasher. So I'm gonna put on this tank top on the way there and we're gonna go hit some legs. And when we get back, I'll do like a little more in-depth show and tell of the new Alphalete pieces and colors. All right, and here we go with the workout portion. With these videos, I like to try to do a more in-depth voiceover to guide you through the workouts, just to kind of bring back my normal educational heavy content, you know? Before I start anything, I always do like a foam roll and a quick like 5-minute mobility stretch session. Then I went into some Smith machine RDLs. RDLs are such a staple exercise and I do them so often that I really like to try to switch up how I do them. So this day I opted to do them on the Smith machine. I do like this because you can kind of get your hips even farther back into the move and really focus on your glutes, and also not need to worry too much about stability. So my feet are just about shoulder width apart, and since this Smith machine is angled back a little bit, I like to kick my feet a little bit forward just to help with my overall like center of gravity. You want to think of this movement as driving your hips back to like close a door rather than bending over. So really by you pushing your hips back, that's inevitably causing your torso to fold over. That's more of the movement rather than bending over. So I'm pushing my hips back, really stretching in my hamstrings and my glutes. I'm keeping a slight bend in my leg. This is going to help shift a little bit more to a glute bias, which is what my goal really always is. I'm also keeping the bar path really close to my leg. That's going to help with any strain on your low back. I'm keeping my neck in line with my spine. I'm keeping my core really nice and tight. I always keep my weight in my heels and I kind of pretend like I'm pressing the floor away through my heels in order to pull myself up out of the move. Next, I went into some landmine sumo squats. Here, my feet are just past shoulder width apart. My toes are pointed outward just a little bit at about a 45-degree angle. I'm sitting back and down into the squat as if I'm trying to like sit into a chair. Since my femurs are a bit longer, I tend to need to fold over a little bit more at the waist, but keeping my chest up and open really helps to make sure that I'm not inhibiting my range of motion and still making sure I'm getting low enough, because if I fold over my torso prematurely, I'm going to bring the weight closer to the ground and therefore inhibit me from actually getting any lower. So I'm trying to keep my chest up. I'm keeping my spine nice and neutral. I'm sitting back and down into the squat, and then of course I'm driving up through my heels, and I'm always keeping my core nice and tight. I also am using a V-bar attachment from the cable machine in order to grip the bar, and it's super helpful. Next, I went to a single lateral movement. So these are some step ups. I personally like to do these where I can hold on to a wall or something just to have some stability, and I can focus more so on hypertrophy and like really pushing the weight. Foot position on this is crucial in order to really make sure you're feeling it in your glutes. So I position my foot so that my ankle is stacked underneath my knee, and when I'm coming down, I try to keep my shin nice and vertical, as you can see, and I keep it that way by really pushing my hips back and down as I lower into the lunge. This is going to create an even bigger glute stretch and therefore shift the focus to your glutes. If your main focus is your glutes, like mine is, you don't want your knee to start to crowd your toe. You're going to feel your quad firing a lot more if you have that foot positioning. You also want to be slow and controlled. You don't want to let momentum carry you through. You want to control all parts of the movement. And again, I'm always driving up through my heels. Lastly, I finished off with a few isolation moves. So this is a standing plated abduction. I just did 2 sets of the superset to finish off. So I did perform these next 2 exercises back to back. Here we're hitting our upper outer portion of our glute. These are 2 smaller glute muscles called our glute medius and minimus. It's really important to make sure we're also training in the lateral plane. Here I just have a plate on the outside of my thigh and I'm basically just kicking my leg out towards the side. If you can tell, I'm doing a slight little bend with my standing knee. As I come in and bring my legs together, I kind of rotate my hips in a little bit and lean into that standing leg, and then also do a mini abduction on that side. So when I kick my leg out, then I'm also extending with my standing leg. That's going to help to activate that standing legs glute as well. Just kind of adds another burner component to the exercise. Lastly, we have these glute hyperextensions. You guys, I have always heard such great things about these, but they were never like a staple for me because I never really felt them that well in my glutes. It just like wasn't for me, I thought. But I've made a few form tweaks and oh my gosh, I like love this 10 times more now. So one thing that I do is I'm adding some weight for difficulty, but when I come down at the bottom of the move, I'm slightly extending the way out ahead of me just a little bit, nothing drastic, but that's going to increase like the leverage here and just increase that line of pull to make it a little bit more difficult. And then also when I'm at the bottom, I really try to almost approach it like a hip hinge movement, like an RDL. I try to really stretch my hips back and up to really get that big stretch in my glutes and my hamstrings. You can honestly see it, and it's made the world of a difference. Then I pull up, really squeeze my glutes and my hamstrings to lift myself up out of the move. Okay, people, here's the thing. I'm starving. Absolutely starving. Also, right before I left for leg day, I did have some of this Bloom energy drink. Can you see? Okay, raspberry lemon flavor. Hi. I really love these for some reason. I really do, okay? I know this is not a clean supplement by any means, but balance. I'll have about like a quarter of an energy drink at a time. Oh, I also did talk about this. I'm so weird, you guys. Like, my brother can't stand me for it, but I will open up canned drinks and drink like either a quarter to a half at a time, and then I just have like 3 different opened drinks in the fridge at all times, which I know is kind of gross, but whatever. So then also these from Bloom, they're like little sodas. This is not sponsored at all. I found this in Walmart, and I thought, Shirley Temple, this is an absolute genius flavor idea. It's never been done, and it's been great execution. I'm obsessed with it. Oh, hallelujah. Guys, this is why I don't even want to film these, because like I eat the same things. Which I feel like on one hand, it's probably comforting to see this and realistic. Because if I had to constantly think of new ideas of what to eat every day, like I would be exhausted and not be able to stay like consistent with anything. So this is the reality of it, is you just kind of find what works and keep your meals in rotation. Okay, these are also fire for a little treat. I'm not gonna lie, when I was having my crash out a few weeks ago, which if you don't know what I'm talking about, go look at my like video 2 videos ago. When I was grocery shopping, I got like just a few really comforting snacks to make me feel better. And this was one of them. Yum. Here we are, flour tortilla, avocado, ground beef with McCormick taco seasoning, and then some of this mango salsa that is so delectable. It's so yummy. I keep my tacos very, very simple. Oh, maybe I'm gonna add a little bit of cheese actually too. I was so hungry. I have to say, tacos are really hitting for me again. I was obsessed with tacos. I've always been obsessed with tacos, but then, I don't know, 3 months ago or something, I like was repulsed by tacos and I just could not do them anymore for like a month or 2. But now they're good again. And I'm so glad because they're so convenient to make. For lunch, I really always usually either have tacos, a yogurt bowl. If I have a light appetite, I'll do like a heftier smoothie. Very often I will just have leftovers for whatever I had for dinner the night before. Now I'm gonna have a little snack. I have been obsessed with these, honestly, ever since I went to Hawaii back in February. I wanna say when I went to go visit Rachel, she had these from Costco and I'm like in love with them ever since. They're so good. And they're just like a little sweet treat. I don't like really fully know, it just says real fruit bites covered in creamy yogurt. And there's like probiotics in them. them, but they're so good. And then I'm also going to make a little protein shake. My smoothies are literally always the same. It's frozen banana, frozen berries, water, protein powder. I've been adding in collagen, and I usually just keep it at that. Most goated protein of all time, PROMIX. Don't talk to me if you disagree, because you're just incorrect. Just kidding, but if you're someone who actually really cares about the ingredients in your supplements, PROMIX is the best company of all time. And you guys can use code LIVEFIT to save 10% on your order. Whoa, I accidentally put like actually a lot of water in there. Oh wow. Hydration, you know? And then for my collagen, I got this one from PROMIX recently. That's awesome. It's unflavored. Or I really like this one from Orgain as well. If you want like a quick option just from Amazon, this one is really great as well. Okay, also I feel like when I shared my little crash out again like a couple of videos ago, it honestly, first of all, was so like liberating. I don't know if that's the right word. It was refreshing to feel vulnerable again, I guess, with you guys. Just like the amount of thoughtful comments that you guys leave really means so much to me, and it really reminds me of the community that we have here, because sometimes when I'm constantly just one person spewing out on the internet, like it's easy to feel like no one else is listening. So just being able to connect with you guys again, kind of in a vulnerable way, was really comforting, really is the word that I want to use. And it honestly was like inspiring me to just want to, it made me look at life in more of a nostalgic way, I guess. I don't know, I feel like again, I want to use the word shame. Like I almost felt shameful. I know that's I feel like that's like a strong word, but I just wasn't proud of the progress that I was making over the past couple of years, because I felt like I wasn't making any progress. I felt very stale and stagnant, and I just was like, who would want to watch this? Like I just wasn't proud, so I almost like didn't want to share, I guess, about my life in a way. Even if that didn't come across through my videos, that is truly how I felt internally. But then after like being vulnerable with you guys in that moment a couple vlogs ago, it just made me feel like, see the beauty in all phases of life. It allowed me to see like the beauty again, and just simply documenting, because one day when I am in a happier place or whatever, like it's gonna be so rewarding to look back on these moments. Those times when I feel more proud of where I'm at were built off of these moments, and so these moments have their place too in my journey. It's all just part of the journey, and life really is just a whole dance that you really need to kind of flow through. It's not always something that you can so strictly control, and the more that you can flow with that in the dance of life, the more like at peace you'll be. So I don't know. I say all that to say I feel more inspired just to like purely document my life, the highs and lows, the glamorous parts and the less glamorous parts, the mundane and the excitement, you know, all the things. JK. Here we go. Here we go. I thought I was out of my mason jars. Where is my cute gummy bear straw? Pardon me. Anyway, ooh, it looks like he's in a hot tub. That is so cute. Okay, also, I feel like giddy. Also, I may be switching out my gym bag. Okay, so this is a brand new duffel bag from Alphalete. This is also launching with all of Drop 4, which I believe is August 11th. I literally looked it up and now I forget again. I'll put it on the screen. It's just so sleek. Like also Alphalete's like duffel bags, backpacks, that sort of stuff is always such high quality. And this is the bag that I have right now, which is honestly very, very similar. And I just feel like I should update it to Alphalete, because also this is from like TBT, if you know, you know. This was the first supplement company that I worked with, and I stopped working with them like 2023. It's been a long time. Honestly, like the zippers in here have kind of broke. The only thing that I'm not loving about the bag is, I don't know how to like explain it, but like it's kind of like hooded. I feel like I can't like open the bag well, I guess, if that makes sense, and I'm worried it's gonna like restrict how much I can fit in here. There is one inside compartment which I really like to put like my keys and stuff, and then they do have a shoe compartment on the side, which also can be very nice. It's like zippered and just like good material for your shoes. And then there is a little pocket on the side. The good news is I already experimented and my camera tripod does fit in here, which is good. I really want to actually put like a little small bag in here to put like tampons, hair tie, deodorant, like random things that I feel like I need at the gym but never have. This is so funny. Let's do a what's in my gym bag. First, of course, we have my headphones. I use these ones from Blue Ant. They actually sent these to me. They're like an Australian company. These are absolutely phenomenal. Not sponsored at all. I didn't have to do any posting or anything. The battery life on this is insane. I've had these literally since like around the new year, like February maybe I want to say. I've charged these like a handful of times. I'm not even being dramatic. Definitely no more than 10 times. Like the battery lasts forever. And they have never fallen off my head once. Not doing RDLs, nothing. Then I have some resistance bands. These are from Hope Fitness Gear. I've had these forever. Next we have a jump rope. I love jumping rope. This one I have no idea where it's from. I've had this for years and years and years and years. I love me a good jump rope. I love doing this to warm up, especially before my full body circuits, but also if like before upper body day I'm feeling flat, I'll do that to wake myself up, get some blood flowing. I also think it looks cool. It's great to work on your footwork, reaction time, agility, stuff like that. Ankle strap to do like cable kickbacks and stuff. I got this off of Amazon, which is linked on my storefront, which you could access it in the description box. These are my wrist straps. I love these. I got these back in like 2021 or 2022. I love them really because the wrist part is actually like Velcro. So I just feel like it doesn't have any weird like tension on my wrist. Like the ones that just have a circle, like these you can actually adjust the tightness so it doesn't awkwardly pull on your wrist. And I really like the like silicone on the inside to really grip the weights well. So I love these. These are from Pro Fitness. Again, they're also linked on my Amazon storefront. I use those like borderline every single leg day. I randomly had a lacrosse ball, which I found this like in the like literally in the street, but it was like in our driveway in the gutter, and I took it because there's times where like my back is so tight and so sore and I like want to be able to rub it out with the lacrosse ball against the wall at the gym. So this is so random and now it's kind of like dirty, but this is an Alphalete muscle tank that's just plain white. I honestly kept this in here because I feel like this is girlhood. Like if you relate, you'll relate. Sometimes if I'm feeling like a little uncomfortable, whether that being from like a bad body image day, or I feel like people are looking at me, or I don't want to be like so exposed, like have my body so exposed, I just kind of have this in there for like backup if I want to throw something on, or also if I like unexpectedly want to go to run to the grocery store and I'm in like a sports bra and shorts, like I can throw this on if I really need to. I honestly haven't used this yet, but it makes me feel better that it's in there. I have some deodorant. This is from Primarily Pure. I've been using them for such a long time in my deodorant rotation. Then I have two tripod. Well, this one doesn't stay in here all the time. This is like my phone tripod, also from Amazon. It's linked. This is another little phone tripod, but this one is so old. I actually used to use this when I would vlog with my Canon G7X, and I would prop it on the floor because this is just like an attachment for your phone that can come off, but you can hook up like directly your little camera here if you wanted. And this is how I used to film at the gym, and I would put this little mini tripod on the floor or like stacked on top of something, which I thought was stupid because I was taking up gym equipment that other people would need to be using in the gym. So then I got a real tripod, but then I got in trouble for using a real tripod because it was taking up space, and they told me I should actually use gym equipment to prop up my camera, which is just confusing to me. But that's just me. Next, I have this big resistance band, which honestly, I like don't ever use it. So I might not put it in there because it's kind of just causing chaos. So I honestly don't think that's gonna survive the transfer. Okay, then in my little side pocket, I have a tampon. I really wish they had like one or two more pockets in here. If I ever were to design a bag, like pockets are, oh, you can never have too many pockets. Like I feel like everyone always wants pockets. Then I have this little Touchland hand sanitizer, which Alphalete actually sent these out as part of our little Christmas presents, which were so nice. Next, I have a second pair of headphones, which these ones are actually from Sony. These are the Sony Fit earbuds. They actually sent these to me again back in like February, which is so surreal to me. That was a really cool moment. So I like to keep these in there because these really never fall out of my ears, and I like to keep those for like my full body circuits and such. The over-ear headphones are usually when I'm lifting weights. And then this is my little key card of my gym, and I have, now it looks mangled, but it's like a little keychain that I got in Hawaii, and that has my little scanner for the gym, and that is everything that's in here. This feels very right. I feel like it's time to let this go. I honestly really did like this bag. I like how it has like a lot of give to it. It kind of has like a canvasy material, but I just feel like it's time to upgrade to my real loves. You know what I'm saying? So there, everything fits in there. But yay, she's finished. I want to share some of the new Alphalete that's dropping. I almost said launching, dropping, launching, whatever. So you guys already saw this little halter neck bra. It also has okay, can I speak? It also has an adjustable neck strap, which I really love that touch. There's just like a little bit of subtle branding on this side of it. I'm obsessed with this color. I don't know, what is it called? Orchid, I think is what it's called, and it's gorgeous. This blue, it's called Skyline. They're dropping a little like polo, which I think is going to be so cute on the golf course because I'm a golfer now. And there's like the little neckline with a collar. It is cropped, but like this color is also adorable. The blue and the pink I was like so excited for. And they're also coming out with a little skirt. Hello, I love activewear skirts and dresses. They're just so cute and girly. So we have this with a little slit on the side. It is pretty short. Like it's really just like the length of spandex pretty much with like a little skirt around it. But I'm still here for it. I'm so happy that Alphalete is like branching into that space. I actually really like these as well. They're coming out with some sweat shorts in heather gray. They also have heather gray in the pump as well. I didn't get the sports bra. I low-key regret it because I think that would actually be such a vibe with the sweat shorts, but whatever. I think that this heather gray material plus with like the pump shaping of the shorts is going to be so flattering. Oh, and then there's also this color. This is called Dusty Navy, which reminds me of, I think it was called Deep Navy before in the Tenacity, and it was a really, really beautiful charcoal gray deep navy blue. And this one is very, very similar. This is looking a little bit more charcoal gray with like a tiny touch of blue. Okay, I'm starved, so let's go make some dinner. Dinner's going to be kind of a weird concoction of things. A girl dinner, if you will, but like a girl dinner who cares, a girl who cares about a protein though. So I made these little drumsticks last night. I literally just cook them in the oven at about 400 degrees for 45 minutes. I just do a ton of olive oil, salt, pepper, and garlic powder, and they get really crispy. So I'm gonna have, honestly, probably all 3 of these. Maybe 2, I don't know, because I'm also gonna have these chicken dumplings. They're not dumplings, but I keep calling them that, pot stickers. I don't know why I'm on such a fixation with these right now. And I don't know why I never realized that you can get them like this in the frozen section. The ingredients are like pretty straightforward. They could be better. Really the only thing that I don't love is that there's soybean oil in the dough, but like everything else is pretty straightforward. I've been so hyped about these. So I'm gonna make some of these, and then I'm also going to do some cauliflower because I haven't had any vegetables today. Here's the final display. This is the most bland plate I've ever seen in my life. We literally don't even have an ounce of color. It's all tan. I'm just realizing, but anyways, we have our protein, we have our vegetable, we have our carb and our protein. Oh, also some fat because there's more fat on a drumstick than like a breast, you know? Honestly, this is gonna slap. This is like exactly what I want. I just thought of therapy and I realized I never really gave anyone an update. Back in the spring, I said that I was starting therapy, and I did it for probably 5 weeks, I want to say. I don't know if I just didn't have a great therapist. No shade on her at all. I just don't know if she was like, I don't know, pushing me in the way that I needed to be pushed. I just felt like she was just like asking me questions. Like I just felt like I was getting interviewed at the end of the day. I also felt like sometimes we were focusing on things that like weren't really productive or like main pain points for me, which I guess I could have stopped her earlier, but I just felt weird being like, let's not talk about this. Which I would imagine you definitely do have the right to do in therapy, but I don't know, it was my first time and I just like wasn't really sure of the flow. So anyway, I honestly stopped it because also sometimes I feel like I already have so much self-awareness. Like, I don't know, that's why I've been kind of in my last vlog, I talked a little bit about somatic therapy. Like I feel like that's something that is going to be more impactful and like effective for me. Because I just have heard about how like if you're already very self-aware or you've already kind of done the main surface level like healing stuff through like journaling, your own awareness, your own meditation and stuff, like sometimes you need the somatic piece to actually like clear these things out of your body in a way, because I believe we hold like energy and trauma in the body. It just makes sense to me that that would be a form of therapy that's going to be more effective for me. Also, these dumplings have chicken and cabbage in them. I'm also dipping my dumplings in some coconut aminos because we don't have any soy sauce. I don't know why they're just so satisfying. For dessert, I'm having some of this half-baked ice cream. However, I really would have loved a cookie dough piece, but I think like really it's almost gone. So I don't think I'm gonna get lucky with that. I did get a little brownie piece though, so that was a highlight. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. I'm sending you so much love as always, and hopefully I'll see you in my next vlog, whenever that is. Also, I was watching, if you guys know who Max Tuning is on YouTube. I just like his humor is just so stupid in a funny way. And at the end of one of his vlogs that I was watching, he was like, all right guys, like see you later. He's like, new videos every week unless you don't get one. And I was like, that's literally story of my life. Like, stay tuned for my next vlog, unless you don't get one, because we all know I upload very sporadically these days. So anyways, love you guys. See ya.